Well, good damn morning, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Give me a follow on X at green_Jericho or give me a follow and like and subscribe my new channel, Green's House. I sit down with interesting people who have an amazing story to tell. So, last night they wrapped up the DNC, and with that, see, this this should have been Sloppy Joe's night, but they got him out of there on the first night. Kamala and her homeboy Tim Walz spoke, and Kamala's speech, to be honest, it was delivered well. Like, she didn't stumble and bumble and make up words and trail off words and never mind, like her boss. And don't forget that she called Sloppy Joe a racist and blamed him for her having to be bused to a different school during the debates in 2020 and her 24 hours that she was a candidate. But it was like a bunch of frosting and no cake. It didn't make you feel anything. No hair stood up on your arm, no goosebumps, you didn't feel it. It was empty. It was more word salad. And as you know, I call her the human salad shooter. Her and Michael Eric Dyson, that fake ass yellow storefront preacher. So anyway, she's delivering the speech and she talks about her mom, and the theme of it was do something. That was the theme of her speech. You got to do something. You got to vote. If you're on the fence, come over here with us. You got to do something. She told a story about her mom. Well, if you got a problem in school or something like that, you got to do something. Well, Kamala, what the fuck were you doing in the White House for the last 4 years? You didn't do anything. You're out here begging people for basically a second chance to do something when you were there already. And like not just her, but all the speakers there, it's so fake and it's so set up, and everybody there is in on it. They're in on the joke. So of course they're going to stand up and clap and applaud and standing ovations and shit, but there's nothing there. Your policies are fucking trash. And you're telling us that, no, put me in the White House and I'm going to fix all the stuff that I messed up. Well, you shouldn't have messed it up in the first place and fix it now. You're there. All these rich people talking about how shitty rich people are, and you're a rich person. Oprah talking about sexism and racism. When is the last time Oprah Winfrey experienced sexism or racism? She owns the network that her show was on. She's a billionaire. Who in the fuck is racist against Oprah Winfrey? When she has them shut down Williams and Sonoma so she can shop in private with her lesbian partner Stedman and her multi-$1,000 dogs, who's following her around and making her feel uncomfortable? Who's making racist and sexist remarks against Oprah? You know the answer. Say it with me. Nobody. Mike and Barry up there. Mike's talking about, my parents were always wary of rich people who had more than they needed. That's you. That's you. You and Barry are worth like $100 million. You are the very evil villains that you're talking about. Kamala's speech was empty. She is not going to be president of the United States, lady. You suck. You and Sloppy Joe created the problem, and now we're supposed to give you an opportunity to fix it. She's like, no, this time I'll do it. Yeah, I know I was there for 4 years, and I'm not sure what I was doing. I'm pretty sure I had a thumb up my ass, or it was somebody's thumb up my ass. I know I was supposed to go to the border. She had nerve to talk shit about Trump and the border, and she is the border czar who never went to the border. But that speaks to my point of all the people in the audience were a bunch of sycophants who don't want anything to do with facts. They're allergic to it. That's bee pollen to them. The hay fever. They're allergic to that shit. They don't want it. They don't want facts. That shit is so weird. Nobody's asking any questions. Everybody's saying, and you know something about Kamala is everybody's calling her black. She's going to be the first black this and black that. She's not saying, no, I'm not. She's just staying quiet, letting people lie about her. Talking about her mom. She always says my mom's brown. Your mom's Indian. She's fucking Indian. But you have these people, these blind followers, these black folks that are, no, she's not white, so she must be black. So desperate for support. So desperate for people to be on their team that they just allow anyone. And her race is not a big issue to me. To me, the issue is people lying about it. Why are you calling her that now? Why now is she black? Why now is her blackness, which she doesn't have, why is that important? She won't say that she is black, but when she's in front of black folks, she'll give you some, y'all gonna help me win again in 2024. My husband does, She'll act black, but she won't claim it. And they don't have a problem with that. But her speech left a lot to be desired. And I think what's going to happen is once she sits down for an interview, and it doesn't matter with who, or once she debates Trump, she said she's not going to debate him on the 4th, on September 4th, which really sucks because I wanted to see the death of her political career live. But I think that once she's out there in front of the people and once she doesn't have her training wheels on of being in front of a bunch of people who are her fans, like at a rally or something like that, that's when she's really going to fall apart because she is the most unlikable human being ever created. That's a fact, and that has never changed. That's why she couldn't get any traction when she ran for president in 2020 because nobody likes her. I bet Doug doesn't even like her. But last night, it was on full display and it was 100% bullshit. But of course, I know that. You know that. We knew that Sloppy Joe was running on a half a brain cell and he probably died 7 or 8 times while in office. But that didn't stop them from stealing the election last time. So what's going to stop them from stealing it this time? Are they going to steal it again? Or is it going to be, as you know, you see the slogan out there, is it going to be too big to rig? I don't know. But I do know this, once you do something, it's easier to do it the second time. So are they going to steal the election this time? Are we going to go to bed again thinking one thing and then wake up to a complete shock? Wake up 180 degrees from where we started. But that DNC was 100% nonsense. The nerve of those people to get up there, and in some cases, they would talk shit about a billionaire and then introduce a billionaire. How do you do that? How do you talk shit about a billionaire and then say, welcome to the stage, a billionaire? Oprah's a billionaire. Is she one of the good ones? Is she one of the good billionaires who earned her wealth the right way? She worked hard. She didn't screw anybody over. She's the one good billionaire that they found. But that is rich. No pun intended. That is rich for Oprah Winfrey to sit up there talking about sexism and racism, and she hasn't experienced that since what, the late 70s when she was a news anchor in Chicago? Who in the hell is going to be racist against Oprah Winfrey? And they're talking all this shit about the billionaires and the wealthy. Well, then why don't you give all of your wealth away so you're not one of them? You don't want to be one of those disgusting, evil, earth-pillaging billionaires. They're all evil by nature. The fact that you have billions of dollars means that you are evil. So you don't want to be one of them. So why don't you give your money away? Get rid of that filth. Ew. Millions and billions of dollars. Gross. Get rid of it. Of course they're not going to fucking do that. They're going to tell you that the earth is drowning, but they're going to keep buying waterfront property. How the fuck is that? They're going to tell you that you are a piece of shit because you're polluting the planet with your 3 garbage cans on the curb every fucking week. I got to go home right now and bring up 3 trash cans from the curb. You're a piece of shit. You driving your kids back and forth in your minivan, your car, your truck. You producing plastic. You eating red meat. As they fly around in the air like the Wicked Witch of the West, spewing more fucking CO2 and pollution in one flight than you could in a whole year of driving your sick, disgusting little snot-nosed tax breaks back and forth to school and sports. You're the problem. You, the taxpayer, the little person. And they tell you, the Democrat Party, we're for the working man. Out of one side of their mouth, and out of the other side of their mouth, they're taxing you, they're taxing the shit out of you, and they're bending you over and not even using any lube. We're the party for the working man, even though none of us have ever worked a day in our fucking life. How does that make any sense? I'm glad it's come to an end. I'm glad the DNC is over with. Even though it was hilarious. And did you guys see Tim Walz yank his son's arm when he was walking out on stage? I don't know if there's something developmentally wrong with his son. It kind of looked like it. But I don't know if there's something up with him. But when they were walking out on stage as a family, you see him yank his son's arm. Now, if there is something mentally wrong with his son, he has autism or something like that, maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe at that point in his life, I don't know how old his son is, and he is his 20s or teens. At the very least, he's like 18 years old. So I would think at this point, you would learn how to deal with your son and his issues and not be upset like that and yank his arm. It was fucked up. It was kind of like, hey, Tim, that's your son. You should know how to deal with him by now. And that's if he's dealt with them. Maybe it was his mom that took care of him and he's out on the road or whatever, doing his governor thing or being in the military, whatever. But it didn't look to me as though he was used to dealing with his son and his issues. And it was a little weird. But you also saw at the beginning of the DNC where his wife came out on stage and they shook hands. Because that's what we do, fellas. We shake our wives' hands like they're one of our boys. Do you know how it goes? I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Utilize the Linktree link. Give me a follow on X at @green_Jericho and make sure you like and subscribe to my new YouTube channel, Green's House. I am Jericho Green. And man, I'm out.